Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be. We are streaming live, I assume. Please let me know in the chat if my audio sounds well. I'm doing a different setup tonight because I'm doing some desktop work on my comic WILDCAT. For those that are just now tuning in, you are watching Sketching Past Midnight Live, broadcasting live intergalactically from, I think, the fourth planet from the sun, Mars, on Olympus Mons. If you buy that, that's great. If not, well, I tried. But anyway, and I am your host, C.B Smallwood, and we're going to try to have some fun here tonight. Again, like I said, different setup. Lion Tiger Man 23 says sounds good. Awesome. I'm very, very happy about that. Thank you for letting me know. So this is a new thing for me. I promise anyone that's going to be watching this that I will get to some comics. You will see some art. You will see some news and different things. This may be an on and off again thing that I may try, just trying something new here. And speaking of which, I show you my little folder here. Let's see if this will pop up. Where's the, well, all right, share screen. Where we go? Share screen. Okay, share screen. What about a window? I'm thinking here. All right, we'll just do regular old. Okay, here's my share screen. I also got a tablet pulled up here, trying to be all pro here, see how everything looks. You see, you can dox me like no other. Look at all this stuff. All right, see how this looks here. Okay, yeah. So I got like this WILDCAT Anthology file pulled up here, and this has got references and ideas and different things in my actual work that I got going on. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a missing 9th page. And I got this one thing I got scanned upside down for some reason. So we got that coming up, but could be a little louder. Let's see. Pull this microphone in closer, see if that helps a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of awkward. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into some news, and then we'll get over to this stuff where I'll try to live stream, be kind of tinkering with this page. Hopefully, this pulled up on the screen. I don't know if it did or not. And let's get into some breaking news. Okay, and today's news headline: Bigfoot sighting claims as skeptic snaps ape-like humanoid at river and is now a believer. The supposed Bigfoot creature was caught on camera in Iowa's Whitewater Canyon by a man who was out walking with his sister. Not everyone is convinced it was Sasquatch, though. And this was posted as of August the 3rd of 2021, unless I'm mistaken. And it's written by the most awesome Ethan Blackshaw. That's a cool last name, Blackshaw. And right away, we're treated to a most wonderful picture, what appears to be an ape-like humanoid creature in the distance. Maybe it's a man in a ghillie suit, which, by the way, FYI, ghillie is, I think, like an Irish or Scottish myth. It's an actual cryptid creature from their shores, and the ghillie suit is meant to embody the camouflage nature of the mythical ghillie. So just tying things together. A Bigfoot skeptic is now a full-blown believer after snapping pictures of a shadowy ape-like humanoid next to a river. The man captured the mysterious creature on camera in Iowa's Whitewater Canyon while out morning walk with his sister. Yes, we read that in the headline. Jeremy, who did not share his last name, fearing he would be ridiculed. Really? In 2021, with a lot of this stuff being mainstream stuff these days, was shocked at the sight of the so-called Sasquatch. He told K92.3 FM, I pointed out the figure and my sister laughed, saying it was a person. We called out to it, but got no response. You don't have to believe me. I wouldn't believe me, but now that I've seen whatever that was firsthand, I think I may be a Bigfoot believer. In the photos, the figure appears to be walking up the canyon after crossing the river. Surely this ain't the only photo we got. Jeremiah Byron, host of the Bigfoot Society podcast, shared the Sasquatch snaps on Twitter on July the 25th, sparking doubts over the legitimacy of Jeremy's encounter. One Twitter user stated that the figure looks like a guy in a hat and shorts. Well, I guess I could see that, maybe. While another theorized that the dark outline was simply shadows in the rock face. Another Twitter user joked, look close. It's just Slash on a camping trip. Another possibility here. Jeremy pictures are the second alleged Bigfoot sighting in recent weeks. On July 12th, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization, RMSO, posted a video to YouTube that appeared to show an auburn-colored bipedal figure wading across the Michigan Cass River. Eddie V, who sent the clip along with the photo to RMSO, said, my cousin was kayaking on the Cass River here in Michigan when he took the picture. Not sure what it is, but I have seen it I have sent it, if I can learn to read, to a few people to see what they would say. Some say it's Bigfoot carrying a baby Bigfoot, and others say it's Bigfoot carrying a deer. Kyle Shaw, an investigator of RMSO, confessed to his fans on YouTube, I don't know what it is. I am a little bit skeptical. You be the judge. I don't know. I'm leaning toward the... I don't know. I really don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't think it'd be a baby. It'd be a deer, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's like a drug deal gone bad and this guy's got shot in the stomach and he's trying to get away. I don't know. Just another thought. Another alleged Bigfoot was filmed in February of 2020 by two hikers in Ohio's Salt Fork State Park, the site of over 36 reported sightings since the mid-'80s. Iowa almost had two sightings in 1 month when James Patrick leapt from his car to photograph the two dark figures marching through a field near the town of New Hampton in July this year. He said, as I hurriedly took photo after photo, my oldest of my three children yelled from the car, Dad, I don't think they're real. When it dawned on Patrick that the two largest of the two Sasquatches was holding an American flag and neither had moved when he drove past, some hours later, he realized they were possibly cutouts. So, yes, there, my friends, is some weird news for the day. And I figured as bonus points, we're going to go look at another news headline I saw is a little bit misleading, but we'll check this out. Popular restaurant chains that are closing locations and losing money in 2021. So let's go through these fairly quickly. Cheesecake Factory. Stopped paying its rent. The chairman and CEO, David Overton, announced in an open letter to its landlord that the popular restaurant chain would not be able to pay rent at any of its 294 locations for the month of April. Wow. 27 locations have closed their doors. Next. IHOP is hopping out of business. Okay. We know what IHOP is. The Pancake House is founded in Los Angeles, California. The headquarters have since remained in the Golden State. It's somewhat ironic considering California is one of the healthier states in the continental U.S. I don't know. So is IHOP really going out of business? Do the rising number of people who are beginning to eat healthier and watch the calorie intake, IHOP is getting hit hard. The customer base is minimizing, and the business is slowly due to unhealthy menu. Slowly dying due to an unhealthy menu. I don't know. Owner Dine Brand said they were going to close as many as 40 locations. So they're downsizing. They're not closing their doors. Taco Bell is no longer the whole enchilada. Yeah, that's Taco Bell's going nowhere. They're probably downsizing. Steak and Shake is turning off some griddles. Okay. I know Steak and Shake is also not out of business, but they are in financial trouble. I know that. I've actually researched it. So what else we got here? Golden Corral location shut down and employees were furloughed. Okay. So another downsizing. I've never heard of this one. Sbarro, the Italian eatery. I don't get out much, so. Red Robin, the famous Red Robin burger chain, was founded in Seattle, Washington in 1969 with the first franchise restaurant opening just 1 year later. It's no wonder the restaurant's jingle became so widely known with 562 U.S. locations and a few in Canada. Be hard pressed not to hear it on radio or television. Be closing 10 locations. Okay. So yeah. I'm not going to flip through any more of these. These are pretty much what do you call it? Downsizing. So it seems like the first restaurant I showed, I can't remember what it was. It's actually closing. So that has been your weird and regular news for the day. All right, so we're getting mighty close, my friends, mighty close to actually getting into some comic book work, which I promise is coming. Look at this. See, it's coming. It's pulled up. We can do some work here. We minimize this. So it's going to happen. You know, just having a little fun here, just playing around. I don't know how to work all this stuff. Look here. NTM says, hell, the chat. Yes, I finally did decide to live stream. I was debating it and debated it hard. Hi, CB. Hello to you too. Hello, good friend. Our local Taco Bell has been closed for several days. They can't get anyone to work. It's crazy. It's located at Veterans Boulevard. That is the gateway to Dollywood. I've never been to Dollywood. I'd like to go. I love Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and stuff like that. I've only explored very limited. Like another interesting tidbit. You know, as a martial arts enthusiast, Ishinryu karate is really big in Tennessee. You know, lots of Ishinryu karate down there. But the local Taco Bell being closed for several days because they can't get anyone to work. That's a thing. It's pretty much going on nationally. I know McDonald's is actively courting 15 and 16-year-olds, somewhere in that age range to work, which I think is a good thing. Give them work experience, a good entry level job, and I worry about our culture. I worry about our culture and the future generations. And the sooner we can put them to work, the sooner they can understand how the world actually runs, because once we get lost in the fantasy of how things work, and we kind of go down a rabbit hole of non-logic. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here. Abe says, hey all, hey CB, glad to have you here too. Everybody's looking at the back end of this. All my secrets are laid bare. I got one last thing to show you, and I'll leave you alone, and then we'll get into some comics. How about that? Okay, I've seen this before on YouTube, and I just want to share this. I don't. Let me figure out if I can share the audio. That's a good question. I'm going to have to figure that out. Let's see. Move this thing out of the way. It's right in the way. Here, I don't need to post no comments. So let's see. We'll go to share. Nope, that won't work. Well, all right, let's just click on this. So let me know in the chat if you can hear any of this stuff. You should be able to hear some music. Can you hear that? Hear the music any at all? All right, let me pause this and see if it's working. There's usually like a 5 to 10 minute delay in this thing. And see, this is the first time I've ever done this, so I really don't know. But I really wanted to share this because I thought it was it's kind of funny, a little bit. So did you hear the audio that just played from this video? No music. Okay, thank you. So yeah. All right, now you're looking at this. This is your punishment. Let's see. I'm gonna stop that screen. Go to share screen. On the next window. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Figuring this stuff out. Nothing. Okay. Well, I'll give up that. Probably a live stream is not the way to go to do that stuff. Okay. So we're going to go straight into the comics. It was a worthy endeavor. Okay. So entire screen. Boom, boom, share. So we go back to this, and now let's take a look at this. Move this out of the way. Where can I put this? How about here? It'd be fine. Okay, what we're looking at is page 1 of my story. Well, I shouldn't say my story. The magnificent one, B.W. Sims' written story in my art contributions to the WILDCAT anthology. So this is page 1 of what I'm working on here. I've taken this page and got it scanned, cleaned up, and right now I'm just kind of adding screen tones, little final touches. If we take off the screen tones, we kind of get that. Things kind of look a little flat. And so I really like the depth that the screen tones offer. I'm using Krita. Krita is Krita. It is a free program that you can download and play with. I had installed down below all these zip tones that somebody made. I can't remember what it was. I posted it on Twitter like a couple months ago. If anyone asks me and they want to find these zip tones to install in Krita, just let me know and I'll try to look into it later. Okay, so increase my brush size just a little bit. And I just been basically just using one one zip tone for everything on this. Very unsophisticated, you know, on my approach. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Let's go back to this helmet. I was thinking about the light source a little bit, you know, where the light might be hitting or whatever. You know, maybe I could leave one side of their mask kind of I don't know, empty, bare, whatever. But I'll fill it on in. Now, the video I was going to share with you earlier of Motley Crue was kind of interesting. Maybe next time when I've actually done some research on how to properly screen share, we could try again in the future. But basically, I think the singer of Motley Crue, Vince Neil, I believe that's it. He's been doing some shows fairly recently, and it's been the stuff of internet legends ever since, because I don't know what's going on with the guy. I mean, the weight is the first thing a lot of people bring up. You know, he's even had plastic surgery. I think he even had lipo done, and like all of it just kind of went by the wayside. You know, and and in his live shows, you know, he has his own band that he performs with. That's not Motley Crue. He's got his own Vince Neil type of band, you know. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is when he does his shows, he mumbles the lyrics. He mumbles the lyrics to every song. You know, that's like a thing that's going on with him right now. You know, and I don't understand why he's doing that. You know, it's one thing to sing badly, and I'm not saying he's a bad singer. I've never thought of him as a bad singer, but you know, but it's another thing to be to not even sing words, you know, to not even try to form words with your mouth. It's interesting, you know. And so everything he's been doing lately, it's just been this one big garbled mess. You know, the video quality looks a little blurry to me. I don't like that. Why is that? I don't like that at all. It's like I can't win for losing. When I first started the stream, I thought the video quality was fairly pristine, you know, and now, you know, it's just I've been talking, oddly enough, I've been talking to the people at StreamYard about it, you know, not that I was doing some big mighty complaint, but, you know, they give you an option when you're done streaming. What do you think of the stream? And I just told them. And since then, kind of off and on, I've been sharing my thoughts, and they've been trying to troubleshoot with me. And, you know, they's like, hey, you know, well, maybe you just need to be directly hooked into the internet. And I was explaining that, you know, I kind of like my setup, you know, with my phone, because it's more convenient and all this other stuff, you know. But here I am using a desktop with the internet cord hooked right into this bad boy, and then still, you know, having issues. I got my tablet pulled up right now, and I'm looking at the screen, and it looks blurry as all get out. Let's see. Let me go over to got tabs galore. What kind of tabs we got here? Uh-huh. Yeah, I took karate for a few years when I was a kid. You saying I'm a child because I still love my martial arts? Is that what it is? That's pretty cool. I wonder what style of karate that you took. Do you remember what it was called? Um, New comments. There we go. Sideburn says, dope. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Says it looks fine. Yup, looks great. Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, that makes me happy then. Yeah. So I was worried about the blurriness factor of everything. You know, that was a concern. All right, let's get back to it. Yeah, I love zip tones. I've like fell in love with them. It's like it's hard for me to imagine. Look at there. I don't even care about standing on lines. Central Z, uh, but zip tones are the bomb.com, you know. Used to be a cool, you know, Western thing that got used almost up to the 90s. And, you know, the change in coloring and stuff like that just kind of changed everything, you know. So it kind of made it, I don't want to say it made it obsolete because I don't see why it would, why something can't work in unison. But anyway, you know, Japanese, Chinese, and the Koreans, and I guess people in the Philippines and some in the U.S. that are manga people, mangaka. They use zip tones like no other, you know, and it really does make your stuff pop in a really nice way. So, and I'm just doing this with a mouse. I'm not using anything fancy or nothing like that. You know, just doing my thing here. And just look how much it really brings it to life, especially with, you know, black and white comics. I think, you know, it adds depth and texture, all that wonderful stuff. Not even staying in the lines half the time. I mean, look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but right here, I just kind of, let's see. I think right here, I want to add me a little bit of shadow. I think that would look fairly decent. I don't know. I'd done a test with doing this stuff a couple months ago. I just never shared it with nobody, you know, to see, you know, how well stuff may or may not turn out, you know. It turned out pretty good, I feel like. And that's why I'm doing it today. I went and took and got some pages scanned and everything because I did a commission for somebody for a comic that they've got that's coming out, and they have this fantasy-like character. You know what? I don't like that. Central Z. There we go. Let's see if we can go with a lighter shade here. Let's try this. Oh, cool. Nice. But oh, that's cool. I like that. Maybe I should do it in reverse where the sky is that color and the snow is more, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I was doing this commission piece with this fantasy character of this girl and stuff like that, and I think it turned out decent. You know, not as happy as I want it to be. I think the only thing I could do different on it would be basically getting better with shadows, light sources, and stuff like that to really make it pop. And just a lot of that just honestly just takes practice, you know, playing around with stuff, figuring things out. So I feel like, yeah, we're getting a lot more depth here, you know. I'm not too sure about the shading on the helmets, but I don't know. What happens if I just do this? Maybe that will kind of balance it out just a little bit better, and it won't look so jarring to my eyes. I don't know. Just playing around here. Okay. It doesn't look bad. Liking how this is coming together. So let me show you the commission piece that I was working on. Get that pulled up. Can we minimize that? Make it legible. So here it is. This lovely lady. Again, you know, I'm content with how this turned out. You know, I think it was a good effort. I think there is some shading and some light sourcing, you know, things that I need to work on and improve on. Let's zoom out a little bit more so you can see the whole thing in its glory. So yeah, that was the commission piece I did. I want to work on my fire more. It's kind of hard to do fire, you know, it's I mean, all it is these little hoops and stuff like that. But to make it look really good, you know, I really like the way Mark Silvestri draws fire. I thought about adding a plume of smoke going up above these troll like people, using that Arthur Adams smoke that I really like really well. But I decided against it. You know, sometimes in some cases, I guess less is more, and I feel like a colorist can come in and all this, like with the fire, some of the trolls, the moon planet looking things in the skyline will give them a lot room to add to the piece and really play with it and make it I don't know, make it look cool. So oh, I guess the other thing I was to add to that is I used a reference of this girl, and I mentioned this in the last stream. I can't remember what her name is. She's one of these Russian Instagram models. But anyway, the head was a little bit smaller because it was tilted more to the left. So I had some issues with that. I'm satisfied with the face, but I'm not fully happy with it. I feel like a lot more cooler stuff could have been done there. Zooming in so you can see a little bit better. A few other points that I'll bring up about this, and that I'll leave you alone about it. But pretty happy with the blood splatter on the arm. My thinking behind that was, you know, she's killed this dude, this demon troll leader man, and you know, I wanted to show that it took some effort. I mean, you know, he's got these two arrows sticking out of him. He's got this big honking sword. And I wanted like blood splatter to be hitting her. It's not her blood; it's his blood. The other thing that I wanted, and some of you may think, well, some of your cross hatching is obsessive, or is a bit much. Well, I'll explain. Like I was thinking the texture of her brow piece would be like kind of like metallic, or at the very least leather. And so it's going to have dings and scratches. I wanted her to have dings and scratches like on her shoulder here, on her back, this line right through here. This is not, I don't mean this to look like shading. I meant this to be more scratches. This right here, feathering type of thing is to indicate type of like her muscle or back fat. I don't know. This right through here is partially for looks and also for scratches. And I wanted her to have scratches on her butt. So I put a few here and right here. Now this stuff right here is meant to be a shading, showing a light source hitting her butt. This is more shading. But you know, some of it worked, some of it didn't. I originally had a bunch of lines going across on the bottom part of her cheeks, but I thought, well, I don't know, maybe I'll let the colorist, if this ever gets colored, play with that a little bit more. Let's zoom in a little bit more here, maybe so you can get a good gander at the cross hatching. But that's pretty much it. I tell you one thing that I'm not sure that I would do the same again is her right arm, where I got the shading going down here. I didn't even put it on the glove, but you know, I guess again the colorist can come in and save my neck on that one, or the colorist could always just use their tool, because I do a lot of editing when I do colors. And sometimes I'll erase line work that I don't like that I did, you know. And so this could be taken out. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Overall, fairly happy with it. So this was the I think my first, unless I'm mistaken, my first commissioned piece where I will be paid money. Someone will pay me money. So pretty happy about that. So let's get rid of that. Let's get back to work. All right. So what we got going on here. Let me go back to my original thing. I'll answer comments here pretty soon. I think, you know, the way that I shared my screen doesn't make for a very seamless looking at comments type of thing. So I need to fix that, you know. Well, I'm not going to fix it right now because I'm live streaming. Nobody wants to see somebody, like, you know, play with their tools all day long. It's very jarring. Yeah, it don't look bad. I think it looks pretty cool. Not even staining the lines. I'm just going rogue with this. I'm like one of the X-Men. That's how rogue I am. I like to zoom out and look at stuff to see how it's kind of going. Yeah, I think it's going decent. Let's see. Let me zoom this out here a little bit. Now what I'm doing is I'm experimenting, you know, originally, not originally, but it seemed like when I did a test color of this before, I feel like I did like a shadow in front, you know, like I was thinking like maybe they was facing away from the sun a little bit, and I like how that looks. So I'm going to do some more of that because I feel like it adds a really good contrast. My number one rule when it comes to making comics isn't so much, is it right? You know, is that how light actually behaves or any of that stuff? My number one criteria is, does it look cool? Does it look cool? Because if the answer is yes, you better believe I'm going to do it. So I'm looking at it. It looks good. Looks good. I'm trying to think right now. I can revisit this first panel later, maybe, but I'm going to go down to second panel, and we're going to start some work on that. Let me check the comments out here. Make sure I'm not missing nobody. The Spain comic says the style of karate he studied in the wonderful state of Tennessee is Ishinryu. Ishinryu. Fantastic. There's an Ishinryu about 50 miles from where I live, and I really like to train in it. It's just a question of time, having the time to do it, in between me taking Hapkido and doing something else. Comics Mate says, good day, good day. Good day to you as well, sir. And nice. Thank you. I prefer the word noise. I really like the way Australians say that. Screen share to the window if you have two monitors. Well, I'm just using, I got a tablet hooked up, but I don't have it like hooked up real fancy. I just basically got it tuned into the YouTube channel so I can look down and make sure that things are playing. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to figure some stuff out, when I'm not live streaming, so I don't muck things up. Because I know how I am, and it may sound shallow, but sometimes, if someone's having technical problems and it lasts for 10 or 20 minutes, I kind of lose interest. Probably honestly lose interest within the first minute, And so I imagine other people are the same way too. So I got when you're live streaming, or at least with me, in my case, I feel like it's probably best just to hush up and move on and figure it out later, But then again, when it comes to live streaming, maybe you should just, I'm speaking to myself too here, just go all gonzo and just don't worry about it and just try to figure everything out live. And that way, when you go do another live stream, you're ready to go. Just different mindsets, I guess. I don't know. Different approaches. I tend to overthink things sometimes, though. It's always best to be a man or woman of action and just go out and do stuff. Because if you spend your life thinking and debating about every single little thing that you're going to do or not do, then you end up not doing anything. So that's no good, I like how this turned out. Pretty cool. I think now I'm going to go with a darker shade for in front of him. I don't know if I'm happy with that darker shade or not. Looks good. I feel like it could be a little darker. So Ctrl Z. What else we got? I'm going to go too dark. Right here. I'm going to go with that one. Loving these zip tones. Zoom in. I like to get good at doing zip tones with, like actually on paper, The only bad thing about that is, sorry. The only bad thing about that is, you have to constantly buy more zip tones and that sort of stuff. And, oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. So you run into a little bit of money. I mean, like you run into money anyway when you buy paper. So I guess what's the difference type of thinking. All right. So let me get this using one tone to rule them all. Oh, I'm a little confused. That's another problem I have with drawing the rock arm on WILDCAT is sometimes trying to figure out how to draw rock fingers and a rock hand. I don't know why it's such a mystery to me, because, you know, when I look at how one, two, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on here. But when I look at how Marvel, you know, different Marvel artists draw the Thing's hand, it's, you can clearly, you know, make out the differences between his fingers. Now, one of the things that I've done over time, and have learned to do, figured out to do, or whatever, is I darken the outline of the fingers to differentiate the everything from all the broken rocks of his arm. I mean, like even the hand butt cheeks here, the butt cheeks of his hand. I've done that there. To so you can kind of tell a little bit better what the heck is going on. Zoom out, kind of get a gander. It don't look bad. Don't look too hot when you zoom in, but you know, just kind of shade that up a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Oh, got stretched. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, to get quiet. I'm just kind of thinking, doing my thinking bit here. Let me minimize my thing that I'm drawing with. So let's talk comics. Let's talk about, you know, what all I'm working on and what I'm doing. Okay, so here's what I got lined out. I got a lot of stuff to chew. I always like to bite off more than I can chew, because I'm crazy. I like to stay busy. But here are my plans. Here's what's going on. First of all, I'm working on the page you're seeing right now is from the WILDCAT Anthology, page 1 of me and BWSM's contribution. And there's currently, not including me, I think there's like 5 other creators that are contributing stories. There currently, I think 2 creators have submitted their stories. I'm still waiting on 2 or 3 other people, and I say that with all due respect, you know, because you know, if they were waiting on me, they would be waiting on me. Does that make sense? They'd be waiting on me for sure. But yeah. So still waiting on the rest of the contributors to send their stuff in, and everybody is diligently working on their stuff. So it's going to take time, because a lot of these guys, I've got comics that they are working on as well, their own projects. And on top of that, as we all know, they have their day jobs, they have their regular lives. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of hard to balance these things. And so got to be patient. Got to have this Zen-like patience. But the WILDCAT Anthology is coming. Everybody is rocking on all cylinders. With the anthology contribution that I'm working on, one of the things that I am doing is I'm trying to add these zip tones on it to give it more depth and give people more bang for their buck. And eventually I'll start attempting to put letters on here. Oh gosh, I'm going to hate that. That's going to suck. Because I want to do a good job is one of the reasons it's going to suck. And then the other reason it's going to suck is because inexperience with lettering. But the good thing is I'm going to get experience with lettering, because I'll be lettering this. The anthology, the deadline for the anthology to get finished is September the 15th, which is Right now it's September the 9th, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know. I lost count. I don't know. It's like 6 or 7 days from now. Or something like that. I've been very flexible with deadline as I outlined earlier, because like I said, everybody's got stuff going on and it's kind of hard to get stuff done, but it will. Everybody's going to have their contributions in. I'm sure of it. I'm all out of tea, so that's kind of disappointing. I mean, I got more tea in the kitchen, but I just don't want to run and get it. Drink the last drop. Oh, let me give you guys a pro tip. Assuming YouTube doesn't put like some big disclaimer in my live stream. For those of you that are very concerned about COVID or any other type of virus, here is my pro tip. Okay. Go buy you a thing of zinc vitamins. Okay. Zinc. And buy you a thing of Arizona green tea. Okay. And let me explain why. Now, as far as I know, I am no doctor. Take it with a grain of salt. This is just from my own research, but from my own limited understanding. The COVID virus does not like zinc. It's not a fan of it. Doesn't like it one bit. And it is really good at fighting off the virus. So if you're very, very concerned about COVID, get you some vitamin and minerals. Eat healthy foods, exercise, that sort of thing, and get you some zinc. Now, one thing that people don't tell you, that just because you take vitamin and minerals does not mean that your body will absorb that stuff. It's just how it is. Your body just won't absorb vitamins and minerals just because you take the pills or whatever. So I recommend that you get some Arizona green tea. Now, what is special about Arizona green tea? It's not so much the brand. What makes Arizona green tea ideal to take with a zinc vitamin is that green tea, or any green tea, it has a certain natural occurring chemical in it that is necessary for cell absorption of vitamins and minerals. So what am I saying in semi-regular English is, I'm not sure what the chemical is called in green tea, but basically what it does, it makes your cells more pliable for the absorption of the vitamins and minerals that you take. Now, green tea is disgusting. And the reason that I am recommending you, my dear viewers, listeners, friends, get Arizona green tea is because they put honey in it. There is honey in the green tea, and it doesn't really taste like green tea. I mean, it's not like delicious, but it's not bad either, So consider getting that green tea, because if you hearken my words and you do the research and find that what I'm saying is true or accurate, green tea is disgusting. And so you may want to consider getting Arizona green tea, and you can try it in a can or a big jug and see what you think. Maybe you'll find that there's some truth to my words. The other cool thing about the Arizona green tea is it comes that they put, or supposedly they put ginseng in it. So that's an energy booster and all these other things. So there you go. This has been the more you know, the more you know hour. Zoom out. That don't look bad when you zoom out. So this right here would be roughly comic book page size, maybe a little bit bigger. So I like how everything is looking good there. All right. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to do this anyway. That's going to be a hassle to shade that over and over again. But yeah, whatever. Central Z. I don't want to go out the lines too much. Central Z. Well, the other thing to say about the WILDCAT anthology that I haven't already said is 6 or 7 creators so far that are contributing stories to this bad boy, waiting for those to slowly roll in. One of the things that I'm doing with the anthology is I'm trying to have a overarching something like that type of story, something that connects all the stories together. So it doesn't matter how random and how opposite the stories are, they're all connected. And so the story that I'm telling basically overall is WILDCAT has been captured by Dr. Terror, who is watching WILDCAT on like multiple realities, and then sometimes WILDCAT is dreaming or hallucinating and all these different things. And so, and some of these are memories. So some of the stories in the anthology will be memories, some are hallucinations, some are whatever. And so I thought that would be a really nice way to tie everything together, you know, in a really cool way. And I was making the anthology horror themed, which I never told nobody when I first started working on it. So I think everybody would have appreciated to know that, you know, beforehand, but that's okay. I'm fixing it. Well, I'm kind of confused by the some of this line work that I've done. A little wonky. That's okay. I have my days. So after I get done with the WILDCAT anthology, I've been debating about what next and all this other stuff. I know one thing that I'm going to do for sure is I'm going to release the original first issue of WILDCAT, and I'm going to try to make it available for free. You know, I've told people I'm going to do it, so I'm going to do it. And it's going to be called WILDCAT Rough Cut, which is basically, it's like a demo. It's like a first take, a rough draft of what would have been the first issue of WILDCAT. And I think it's good enough to be released. And I think, you know, I think it's another way to get more WILDCAT material out there to you guys to check out and to digest and enjoy, you know, hopefully, in theory. And so, you know, along with the anthology, the WILDCAT Rough Cut, it would buy me some time to work on WILDCAT, you know, the official book, with the first story arc being called Dead Man Walking. And you know, it come out looking good and that sort of thing, because that's a big concern of mine. I want it to look awesome. But the thing is, I'm not a pro comic artist. That's a big issue. And some of you be like, CB, why do you have to be a pro in order to make a WILDCAT comic? Well, okay, I'll tell you why. I mean pro in sense of skill. My skill level is, I'm getting close to having intermediate skills when it comes to doing Wildcat stuff. And but intermediate is, I don't feel like it's good enough for the Wildcat comic, you know. I want it to be like, I don't know, you know, maybe some of you might be too young to remember this stuff, but I want the Wildcat comic to be like when you saw Cyberforce 1 for the first time, or Pit 1, or Spawn #1, you know, maybe Savage Dragon #1. I mean, you take your pick. You kind of get the idea. And the thing is, what all these books have in common is that all these artists, before they did their first issues for Image or whatever, they had first drawn hundreds of issues at Marvel Comics, or wherever else they worked. Also, some worked at DC. They've done hundreds of issues, thousands of pages of comic book work that that helped them to build the skills in order to have an awesome first issue of Cyberforce, Pit, Savage Dragon, Young Blood. I mean, you name it. So I guess the thing that I'm saying is I need to have that experience too. So here's the problem. You know, I don't work for any of the pros. And and so I got to create my own work in order to develop the skill over time. And it's like, I don't want to develop the skill with my own work. Does that sound bad or shallow? You know, I just want to make good comics, and I don't want to sacrifice my creations at the altar of being subpar or something, not as good as it could be. And so I started thinking about that. So like I said, you know, I'm going to be coming out with the WILDCAT anthology. I would love to have it in your all's hands close to Halloween. That's what I would love to happen. I'd like to have this book out near Halloween. We'll see how that goes. Okay, this might be like a December comic. So, yeah. But you know, I got the anthology coming out. I got the WILDCAT rough cut coming out, the one shot what if issue of what the book would have been. And so after that, you know, the thing that I'm alluding to that is taking me forever to spit out my mouth is I'm going to be working on a public domain character. And that public domain character is Super American. I don't know too much about Super American. I know the gist of his origin and all this other stuff. I can't tell you right off who the publisher of Super American is. But I'll explain here in a bit, you know, why I'm going to do this public domain character, what I'm going to do with it, and what my plans are. Okay. But first, I want to know, are you guys still with me? I think I've lost a lot of humans since I've been doing this. I think a lot of people just tapped out. They just, it's like a big hard nope on this. I can't watch anymore. People say. It's like, oh man. Now, which it ain't necessary for you to say if you're with me or not, because, you know, there are those that watch the replay too. And you know, and more importantly, I'm doing this for me. Oh man, that sucked. Erased every bit of that. Lion Tiger Man writes, I'm here. Thank you, good buddy. I appreciate that. So where was I? Okay, so I was talking about my big whole spiel about Super American. He's a public domain character. So what is it that I'm wanting to do with Super American? Okay, so Super American is this patriotic character. There was like a gazillion of them during World War II that had came out. Everybody doing their own version of either Superman or Shazam, you know, or their own version of Fighting American or Captain America and all this other stuff. And you have to remember that like a lot of those characters I just named off were actually, I had to do more research on it, but a lot of them actually came after these public domain characters. So, I mean, you look at books like Daredevil, that is a public domain character that came out before Stan Lee's Daredevil, but it eventually just kind of went by the wayside. And I guess Stan just kind of figured, you know, I'm going to take some of these characters that are now in the public domain and just do something with them, you know, give us something more to publish. And so that's how you end up with stuff like Daredevil, Man Thing, and Ghost Rider in Marvel, you know, because they're all based off of, in one way or another, off of public domain characters, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm going to do the Super American thing, and my goal is to get better at making comics. You know, I want to get good at it, and I feel like part of my problem is I have an emotional attachment to my own creations, things that I've made, and I'm hoping that maybe by working on some character that is not fully owned by me, maybe I can be at peace with just focusing on crafting stories, and not worrying about if everything doesn't come out, you know, 100%. Because there's a certain hindrance about the need for perfection and doing all this stuff, and I cannot produce perfection because I'm not that good of an artist yet. I just don't have the experience, so I got to get that experience. And my goal with Super American is to draw a lot of comics of Super American. And, you know, give myself chance to work on my craft as an artist, as a writer, letterer, inker, color, I don't know, just whatever, you know. Give myself that, oh shucks, the chance to develop those skills. And so that way, when I go back to work on WILDCAT for the Dead Man Walking stuff and whatever else, you know, I'll actually look like I know what I'm doing, you know. Looking at a few more comments. Joe Munger writes, Joe Munger, the worm. I'm listening while I'm working on character sheets. Very, very cool. I like character sheets. It's something that I'm trying to get more and more into, you know. I'm way behind on the times, on the way to do things proper. Sideburns writes, I'm still here. I appreciate it, guys. Okay. And I know I've said this before, but I love zip tones. They make things, zip tones make it look like I know what I'm doing. Doesn't it? Doesn't it make me look like I know what I'm doing? That is just fantastic. And I'm not even trying to, I'm doing this with a mouse. So, yeah. I think maybe I'm trying to figure out where to do the head and shoulders bit. I guess maybe, I don't know. Look at that. That's one awkward looking head. Just make the shoulders more here. And maybe where's so I guess the gun be this way. And he's got this bit going on. So let's put those in there. Okay, cool. Look at that. And I think I had talked about this earlier when I was doing the piece. Like I kind of shaded the ground here, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade the sky. I think that will. I think that will be neat. Let's see. How am I going to do this? Where's my selection thing? Where's that little wand? Awesome. That's what I'm talking about. That way I can kind of just go wild with it and not worry about going outside the lines as much. Okay, so let me see. I picked this one last time. Try that. Oh, look at that. Pretty neat. Some random scribbles here and there. Zoom out a little bit, see how this looks. Wonder if I should leave the cloud formations. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Okay, let's try this again. Make my brush bigger. Oh, shucks. I can fix that later. Yeah, where's my eraser? This is the first time I've used the eraser. The whole time I've been drawing this. That's not being a pro. Where are we at here? Okay, zoom out. Zoom out some more. I apologize if this zooming out is kind of getting on your all's nerves, you know. I like that. I think it gives it, it helps it pop more, you know, in a really good way. And it makes the snow look more snowy. So, yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Sideburns writes, it's good to try and level up with experience. Yes. Citral Shift Day. Yeah, that's my train of thought right now. I'm going to level up with experience and quit worrying so much about the obsessive need for perfection. So that way, when I go and do more WILDCAT stuff, I'll have the skill to back up my need for perfection. If that makes sense. At least in theory. So how many issues of Super American I'm going to try to do? I don't want to be boastful. You know, I don't want to be one of these guys that says I'm going to do 100 issues or something crazy like that. Ideally, I'd like to do like 10 or 12 issues. I think that's pretty good for telling a really nice story arc, telling a story that really has something to say. But honestly, I don't know if I'm capable yet. I mean, that's not me putting myself down. I mean, I'm talking about trying to do a semi-monthly story. You know, it's about 20 pages per issue. And some of you be like, okay, that's interesting, CB. So if you do this, if you try to do 10 or 12 issues of Super American or whatever, that's what you're kind of shooting for. So are you doing Indiegogos? What are you doing with this? Well, my plan is like I was going to do like a webtoon or something like that and just put it out there for free. And if people really liked it, they could get their hard copy or whatever. Whenever I would do like a crowdfunder, like an Indiegogo or something, and give them the opportunity to buy a hard copy, you know. And so I thought about doing that. Because I'm wanting to get into web comics to try to grow an audience. You know, web comics is very much like another form of social media. Look at that grain. That's kind of weird. Where's my brush? Let's make it bigger. Everything's just all grainy right here. But no apparent reason. I hate when I get my stuff scanned. I have to take it, you know, out of town to go get it scanned, because it seems like whenever I do that, people scanning it don't really understand that that they need to make sure that that they scan the page sized in right, you know, because they end up cutting off the borders and stuff of the book, and maybe some of that is my fault too, because you know, when you lay out your panels and your borders, you have to make sure. What the heck? What's going on here? You have to make sure that Ctrl Shift A. I've lost my brush. Where's my brush at? Boom. Boom. Well, it's quit working on me. Let's see what. Nope, nothing there. Ctrl Z. This is interesting. Interesting problem to have. Let's see. Turn that off. Turn this on. That's weird. That's just weird. Choose a different one. Well, that one works. Ctrl Z. Why's my tried and true brush not working? Oh, my opacity's turned down. Look at this. Let's go to 100%. What are you doing, buddy? Why are you messing with me like that? That's not nice. You know, you click enough buttons, eventually something happens. All right. All right. Yes, looking better. Looking better. Let's zoom out, get a gander at everything, see how it's coming together. I think it's looking pretty nice to me. Looking pretty good. I mean, I see a few flaws here and there, you know, but overall, I guess I got to go up here and do something with this gun. Because I figured since I shaded this guy down the middle, I'm going to need to do the same for the gun. And I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. I have no clue. I'm just going to leave it alone. Did I show you the Super American thing that I've been going on about? I feel like I got it somewhere on my computer. Just minimize it all. Well, I don't see it here either. Yeah, I have it somewhere. I promise I do. Well, anyway, I'm getting kind of quiet. I like how this has turned out. I'm glad that you all have stuck with me this far into the video. Let me check out any last minute comments here. Okay, so we're all pretty much caught up. I appreciate everybody tuning in. This was kind of a last minute gig, last minute spiel here, testing out everything on a desktop to see how it all worked. It works fairly well. I just wish that I could share audio, which I can. I just don't know how to do it yet. Audio as far as like videos and things like that. I think show went well overall. Hope you had fun. I think the first 20 minutes was fun. I don't know about the rest of the video. I want to keep working on the WILDCAT Anthology here, and then I'll post updates ever so often. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to be the tide that rises all ships. Please be the change that you want to see. The truth is out there, my friends. Carpe diem, seize the day. And as always, C.B Smallwood, and I will see you in the next video.